fair to say it's been a whirlwind 12 months for you. From amateur to Olympian to now pro. So yeah, lots happened, hasn't it, since last March?
Yeah, definitely. When I got onto the Great Britain squad in 2021, in fact, no, it was 2022 actually. Yeah, I was only on for 2 years, and within them 2 years, I had my first ever international fight, and I managed to book my place in Paris by qualifying in Italy, winning 3 fights on the bounce. So, yeah, it all happened very quickly. It seems to people that it was a overnight success, but I've been doing this since a kid, and my eyes have always been locked on the target.
As a boxer, of course, you've got your team around you who you work with behind the scenes. But when you go somewhere like the Olympics, when you're Team GB, is that like the only time really you experience being part of a wider team with other boxers all striving for the same thing?
No, so when I was on GB, they would have many tournaments. So in terms of like major tournaments, you would have obviously the Worlds, the Europeans. Funny enough, the Commonwealth Games isn't classed as a major tournament. Even though it's massive here in the UK. But yeah, the other smaller tournaments that are in Ukraine, they could be in Germany, they're all just scattered over. These are just obviously different nations that are hosting an international event. So I've been all over the world fighting in international tournaments before the Olympics. So you get familiar with the same faces from different nations, and you all know each other's styles. So the Brazilian I boxed in the Olympics, actually, he was my first ever international fight for Great Britain back in 2022, end of 2022, I believe it was. Yeah.
How did being part of GB and obviously that path to the Olympics last year and it being so close to obviously home, how much has that contributed to where you are now, do you think?
Yeah, massive. So my sort of goal when I was before I got on GB, you obviously have to win the national title to get an assessment and get your foot in the door. So my sort of goal was just win a national title, get on GB, and then it puts me in good stead for a professional. In terms of actually becoming an Olympian, it wasn't actually a massive goal for me. I actually thought it was quite unrealistic because there was fighters on there at my weight who have been on the cycle for many years, and they were favourite to go because obviously they put more time and effort into them because they've been going through the system, and I kind of just jumped on and rocked the boat a little bit. So the experience I've had, it's put me in great stead now for the pro game. Just all the styles I've seen, all the places I've visited, the different training methods they go by as well. A lot of eye-opening experiences. So I can't wait to go into this pro game and see what this is about as well.
The fact that you said you didn't expect to be Olympian, does that make it all the more special? Especially when you look at obviously past Olympians who've gone pro, like Anthony Joshua, Amir Khan, they all competed before they went pro.
Yeah, definitely. There's many great fighters who have gone the Olympics and then turned over pro. And funny enough, Rob McCracken, he said to me after I qualified that I was joint first with Anthony Joshua in terms of becoming the fastest Olympian the program I've ever had. So me and Joshua did it in 2 years' time, and then I think Joshua Boazzi did it in 2.5 years. So yeah, I really uh, turned things around when I got onto GB, which yeah, it made it definitely sweeter, because I didn't think I would get there. Not because I didn't believe in myself. I just thought it was just I was just happy just to be boxing for Great Britain in general.
Since Paris, how does it work becoming a pro? Did it happen quite quickly? Did conversations start quite soon after, or has it been continued like a lengthy wait for those talks to get underway?
Well, to be honest, obviously my coach is Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. I've been with Nigel Travis as an amateur from 2021, just after COVID. I moved from my dad's amateur club to Moss Side Fire Station. And yeah, obviously Nigel has always been working side by side with Jamie, doing the amateur side, and then he also does the pro side. Um, so I've always known who I will go with as a pro, and I've always had my foot in the door in that gym. So I've trained there a few times. I've always known this is where I belong after I've finished my amateur career. So for me, nothing really changed much. I kind of just went into the pro gym, familiar. It's nothing new to me, and I knew the direction I was going in. So most fighters who turn over pro, a lot changes. Whereas with me, I'm still living in Manchester, still doing similar routine, and yeah, I'm fortunate that I've still got that.
Obviously, it's important to have familiar surroundings, but to have those experienced voices, that must be a huge boost, even in your amateur career, to set you up for where you are now.
100%, yeah. I've had a lot of great people around me, whether that's friends, coaches, my family. I'm in a good position where I've been brought up, with good support, and yeah, I count my blessings every day, to be honest, that I've got so many people who care about me and who want the best for me because, as we all know, in the world of boxing, it is dog eat dog, and it's about winning, staying on top, and you need them right people in your ear giving you the right advice.
I want to ask about Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Is he a kind of guy, what you see is what you get? Was it as soon as he spoke to you, was you sold?
No, not really. I had the other promoters, in the background. I was kind of going between them all, and yeah, when it comes to the final decision, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, Matchroom, I'm gonna go with them. I just felt like when I spoke to Eddie and Frank Smith, obviously it's been a family-run business for many years, and I just kind of the way they got the message across to me, they they'll get behind me, they'll push me. And they've done that so far. They've really promoted me well, and they've stuck to their word, which I'm all about. Loyalty is a massive thing for me, and I look at their past fighters, like Tony Bellew and stuff, and Eddie and Tony, that they stand on loyalty as well. So if I can have someone who's big on loyalty like myself, that's a massive box ticked. Don't get me wrong, I understand the world of business and stuff. I've got to show up, I've got to perform, otherwise there's no future, and that's just life, that's just boxing. But he's the right man for the job for me.
You mentioned some of the names you're following at Matchroom, but some of the names you're following in Manchester, you're a proud Mancunian. You got the likes of, Ricky Hatton, Anthony Crowell coming before you. Is it great to follow in those footsteps and see people that have come before you like that?
100%, yeah. I've said it many times before. Everyone knows his story. My first amateur boxing club, Sale West. Ricky Hatton used to box there, so Ricky Hatton's always been a massive idol of mine ever since I was 7 years of age, and I used to obviously watch him all the time as a kid, seeing the build up, seeing his journey and the following he had, and everyone traveling, far and wide for him. It's only you can only dream of things like that, in the sport of boxing. And the same with Crawler. He blossomed as a great fighter under Joe Gallagher, and he's running his own professional stable now. And I know a few lads under him, and it's just nice that I can stay in touch with them, and we're all such a close knit group, and that's what Manchester's about. We always get behind our own.
In terms of you and Ricky, is it only the football that separates you?
Yeah, I think it's just the football, obviously City United. It's funny because South Manchester it's usually United and North is usually City, but yeah, there's a mix all over.
Is it going to be special to start your pro career, in your hometown, so close to where you have grown up and familiar surroundings with hopefully lots of familiar faces?
Definitely, yeah. Mo most lads who are turning over professional, having the pro debut, they would always dream of being in a position that I'm in. So I definitely, I don't take it for granted. I'm here, I'm living it, and I count my blessings all the time that I can go and headline in Altrincham on the 28th at Planet Ice. So yeah, everyone can get there easy because it's the Metrolink and the trams and stuff, and yeah, I'm always around Altrincham, so just to go past it after the fight and just say I've boxed there on my pro debut means a lot to me.
Have you driven past since it was announced?
Yeah. I'm always in Altrincham here and there. It's only 15 minutes away from where I live, and it's a nice little. They've got quite a few bits and bobs going on there. If you want to get a coffee or the gym, or you want to get a bit of bite to eat, there's a lot going on in Altrincham. So, yeah, I'm very familiar with the place, and I used to ice skate there when I was a kid as well. So I've got a lot of memories in that in Planet Ice.
Yeah, I bet you didn't imagine when you were skating around as a youngster that, you'd be on that stage.
No, definitely not. I was too busy getting my wrist sorted out because I remember spraining it when, and that was the last time I was there.
So nervously hoping there's no ice in sight when
Yeah,
you go looking
exactly.
around
Yeah,
next time.
yeah. Otherwise, I'll be Bambi on ice for sure.
Well, Manchester, so many famous bands. What's the walkout music? Have you decided on what's that going to be? Is it going to be same as your amateur days?
Yeah, so it'll be starting off. It'll be Midnight Train to Georgia. So that song's me and my dad. That's our song. There's a little clip in it where it's Superstar, but you didn't get far. So whenever I was a kid and I was messing around, or if I was going out too late and I should be sleeping and resting, he would always say Superstar, but you didn't get far. Just reminding me, you've got a job, you got to keep focused. So that song's very special with me and my dad, and then. As I'm walking out, it'll change to Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. I just love old school music, and I always love David A's walkout tune, and I think that's quite similar.
How's the prep been going? Like, how does it sort of change when you go pro? Can you feel a difference, or is it just doing what you've always done?
It's doing what I've always done. Obviously, you're doing longer rounds, so you change your style a little bit. You're sitting on your shots more, and you're taking your time and being a little bit more, mature. You're not just lunging in as much. And it's more just I'm training twice a day now. It's spreaded over the week, so I'm going into every session fully energized, and I'm all up for it. Whereas when I was an amateur, because I was only training Monday to Thursday in Sheffield, would train 3 times a day, and I was always tired going into the sessions.
You mentioned that young kid at Planet Ice. What would he think, starting boxing as a youngster? What would he think now of where you've come, how far you've come, what you've achieved so far, and yeah, what's hopefully still ahead of you?
Well, it's always been me. Everything I've laid out to do, I've done. And when I was a kid, I used to obviously dream about my professional debut. And when I used to go on, me runs in the morning, I would always picture myself walking out to a massive crowd and everyone cheering and stuff. And that's going to become reality on the 28th of March. So yeah, all them dreams as a kid, and they're all coming true now. I pinch myself a lot, and I just want to obviously show all the other lads at amateur boxing clubs, including my dad's gym, when anything's possible, and if I can do it, they certainly can.
I know you've got to take one fight at a time, but is the longer term goals there? Are you looking ahead and hopefully keep building and getting bigger and bigger as fights go on?
Yeah, of course, that's the direction every fighter wants to go in. They want to pick up titles along the way, and they want to be in big fights and sell out arenas. So that's certainly my goal as well. But I'm one of them. I just take one step at a time and just focus on the job in front of me, and I find it easier that way.